Welcome, everybody, to Phillies Unfiltered, along with Jim Russo. I am Brent Tracy, and we are back for our second episode of season 2 here. And Jim, how you doing? How's it going?
Yeah, doing okay. I mean, we're getting closer and closer. My Noah's just starting baseball this week. He had his first practice yesterday. So we're, I'm ready. I need some Phillies baseball. I know we got USA going, but I need my Phils too.
That's right. Yeah,
How about
yeah.
you?
I agree. I agree. It's getting real. They're cutting the roster number down each passing day. You're seeing so and so has been reassigned or whatever, and they're trimming the roster down as they do. But I have one quick opener for you.
Okay.
Question. Um, so it's that time of year for the pros. It's also that time of year for the little ones.
Yes, it
And
is.
my son has been assigned to his little league team. I'm coaching again this year, and I'll get to that. But I'm curious. I want to hear what team did Noah get assigned to this year?
So a little cringeworthy. You got drafted by the Dodgers this year. I mean, it's a good group of kids, so I'm excited for him. He knows a bunch of them, so their first practice went really well. So at least there's that. They're all playing good defense. I didn't realize Noah went from like a 25 speed to a 70 speed over the course of 5 months or however long it's been. He's
Nice,
showing a little bit more hustle, so it looks good. And
good.
his gloves gotten a lot better. His arms gotten a lot better. Just got to work on the hitting a little bit. He'll be labeled. He's looking forward to laying down some bunts though.
Okay.
I hear I hear Calder has an interesting team.
Well,
He was picked up by this year.
it's related to Noah's team. It's the Tulsa Drillers, who are the Double A affiliate of the Dodgers. So
Oh,
it's a fitting
what do
because
you know?
Noah's a little
Yeah,
older, so he's on the
yes,
big league team. It makes sense. But
yeah,
so yeah, it was surprising. Never seen that before, frankly. But
that's cool.
it's something different. Yeah. So
Yeah,
um, that's what we that's our teams. The kids are excited. Calder went blue with all of his accoutrements, his cleats and
yeah,
his batting gloves. All of that's blue. So
nice.
anyway, so what do you say we get into it and start talking
Let's
about
do it.
the stuff? All right. So first
Yes,
thing off the bat, I made the order this week of discussion, and I wanted to start with this because I'm really excited about it. The Luzardo extension. I want to hear
love
your
it.
thoughts on it first, but I'm excited about it, so let's
I
start with that.
give so the fact that he's 2 years younger than Ranger Suarez. He's only getting 1 million more a year than Ranger got in Boston. So 5 years, 135. Great deal for a guy who has Cy Young stuff. I
Hmm.
mean, if he's on his A game, he could be sub three, all right. He could be like hovering around three. And the kid's a stud. Like we saw in the playoffs, we saw it outside of 2 or 3 starts last year, besides a couple blips when it was coming from the stretch. But he can be deadly, and Caleb Cotham's done a really good job with him, and I'm really looking forward to the next 5 years of Jesus Luzardo.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's a good deal. I mean, you've got him now through his prime. I mean, this is his
Yes,
prime pitching age. He's 28, I think, right, or about to be 28 if he's not
yeah,
already. Um, 28 to 34, you've got him basically. That's the
mm-hmm.
time frame we're looking at, and that's the time. Like that's when these guys really
So,
hit their stride and figure out
so,
what they can get outs with, and we know what he's capable of, but
mm-hmm.
he could get better still.
He could. Only concern with him is health.
Sure.
The last time he made 30 plus starts in the season, the next year he started, I think, like something like 12 games. But he seemed to, be in good shape. I don't recall him missing any time last year. So hopefully he's
Yeah.
coming in feeling good and stays that way.
Right. Right. Yeah. I mean, you're right. The back, he had the back issues, and then I think he had Tommy John when he was 18,
Yikes.
which was obviously much earlier in his career. But the point is, he's had some issues with injuries. Looked great last year. Health wasn't an issue. That'd be great if that continues.
Yeah,
Maybe he's figured out how to pitch, more durably as he's gotten older. A lot of pitchers kind of figure that out at a certain point with age. But yeah, I mean, I think it's a great deal. You've basically locked down the top of your rotation for the next, the foreseeable future, the next half decade at least. You've got Sanchez and Luzardo at the
Yeah.
top of that rotation. And then Painter, you've got club control over him for a long time. And if
Yes,
he
you do.
pans out, you've got him there. You've got Nola down toward the bottom, but still, he's Aaron Nola. You know what he can do. And if he's your 4 or 5 guy, that's not
It's
a
pretty
bad situation.
solid.
It really is. And Wheeler, who knows what's going to happen with him? I'm thinking more short term, maybe another year or two of him at best. But regardless, this Dave Dombrowski has made a lot of, I think, missteps, especially of late. This isn't one of them. He's
No,
done a good
absolutely not.
job of
No.
shoring up this starting rotation for the foreseeable future. And it's really interesting because it's not the formula a lot of teams are going with nowadays. A lot of teams are just trying to stack up the bats. And again, we have talent there. They just haven't executed when we needed them to
Mhm.
so far. But teams are not building around starting pitching in the
But
same way that they were 20 years ago. But you need it to win in the postseason,
yeah,
you
absolutely.
know?
And so this is arguably the best starting rotation in the league,
Oh
especially
yeah.
with Wheeler in there.
Hmm.
You have a couple teams that might be tough to deal with as far as their pitching goes, like Detroit and LA, of course.
Yep.
But I don't think anybody stacks up against us 1, 2, 3.
I agree.
And
And potentially
when Wheeler's
four.
at and potentially 4, you never even know. Maybe Aaron Nola has some sort of great year in 5.
Yeah.
So this is going to be a really good rotation. I can't wait.
Me too. Yeah, I'm excited for that. I think we talked about it last time. I don't have any concerns about this rotation. I really don't. Like that is it's been the strength of this team consistently for the last 3 seasons now. That's not going to change this year. It may even get better. It really is possible. So I'm
Yeah.
excited about that. Um, and so that was a big piece of news this over this past since our last episode. But the other thing, as you alluded to, that's going on, I think you talked about it, the World Baseball Classic's going on right now. It's been interesting. There's been a lot of interesting stuff going on there. Schwarber had a mammoth home run early in the
Yes, he
tournament,
did.
which
He
was
did.
just, I mean, we're not surprised by that because we see it all
No,
the
not at
time.
all.
But he did it on the international stage, I should say.
Again, again.
Yeah, but I mean, and I just love it. I've been here before. Like, there's no showboating. It's just like, yeah, I do this, man. Like, and it's great.
So,
He's done great. Team USA has at times not looked great, but they've found ways to win. Right? They're in the final four of this tournament at this point. Right? I mean, that's the semifinals. It's uh, Harper. We can talk about this. I'm going to ask you about this. Do you have concerns about Harper's performance? Because obviously he's not had the best tournament
yeah,
so far.
yeah. So the USA Dominican Republic game is going on right as we speak. Bryce Harper just struck out, by the way. Swinging.
Oh,
Uh, it's it's March.
yeah.
It's a really small sample size. I'm not entirely concerned. He was hitting the ball hard in spring training. I think
He was.
the lights are a little bright right now. Why are we folding a little bit? But I'm not entirely concerned yet. My eyes are opened a little bit to it. I haven't committed to concern just yet. Close, but not there.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I watched the second half of the last game they played, and he got kind of screwed over on the one strikeout where it was clearly ball four. It was a four pitch walk essentially, and the umpire it was a
Mm.
full ball width above the zone, and he called it a strike. It was not a good call. I mean, it just wasn't. But then he kind of melted down. He kind of lost focus and started swinging at bad pitches, and just
That's
you know,
kind of what he
and
does.
it's not great. Yeah, it is, and it can be. It can be, but yeah, I'm not concerned yet. I think it's possible that he's always been a slow starter, which we've talked about. He does not start the season on fire usually ever. And this is just
Yeah,
elevated spring training
which is
essentially is
fine.
what this
I mean,
is. I hope that this isn't a foreshadowing of things to come as we get into more
same.
clutch games later in the year.
Agreed.
Um, I did want to point out though, there were a lot of Phillies and former Phillies in this tournament on various
There,
teams.
there
The
was.
one that really the one that jumped out at me, or one of the ones that really jumped out at me, Aaron Nola looked
Yeah,
great.
he did.
He looked great. And if that's the kind of stuff that he's going to be doling out, he's going to be fine. We don't
Yeah,
need him to be a Cy Young pitcher, but if he can just eat up inning 5, 6 innings, get some guys out, don't give up a ton of runs, just do that. That's great. He looked good. He was in command of his pitches.
yeah. It looks like a side note. It looks like Schwarber just took a sweeper to the kneecap. He jogged over the
Oh,
first base.
great.
Seems okay. Seems okay. Seems okay.
Okay.
But as far
Good.
as those,
Good.
as far as the Philly, like the current Phillies and former Phillies, even Taiwan Walker looked pretty good in his start for
He
Mexico.
did.
Uh,
He did.
Dante Nori for Team Italy,
Mhm.
looking real good. Surprise appearance last night with Port, what was it, Venezuela? I think was Yaxel Rios. It was Venezuela.
Oh,
It was one of the
I
games.
missed that.
Yeah, I was like, that's a really random guy. That's a former Philly right there. I was either Puerto Rico or Yaxel, or Venezuela. I don't remember now. But it's cool to see some of these guys are still around. I saw
Mhm.
Luzardo got an invite but declined. So
Which I'm okay with. I'm
with
okay with
Team
that.
Venezuela, but former Philly Jose Alvarez, who took a line drive into certain parts, it will be joining their bullpen, I suppose.
And you know who else? Harrison Bader hit a home run too
Yes, he
when
did.
Israel was still in it.
Yeah,
So, yeah, but Nori, I think there's something really to be excited about there because I think there's some expectation with him anyway. But to see him do well on the big stage like that, it gives you hope. Like, I mean,
yeah.
that he could maybe get to the show and make an impact eventually. But it really was great to see Phillies and former Phillies, you know, doing well in this tournament
Oh,
at various points of it. It was cool to see.
the one more was the son of Jose Contreras. Joseph
Oh,
Contreras. That's like his kid's like 17, and he jammed Aaron Judge for a double play. Like that was great. Like that's pretty cool.
yeah.
That's,
I'll say this too. Bobby Witt Jr. Man, me being
yeah,
a defensive fan
he's
of
special.
shortstop, that he is so good, and I knew that, right? I mean, I'm aware, but seeing
Yeah,
him just do that, he's been a good leadoff batter in the tournament, and he's also he's got a glove that you can't. I mean, he gets everything, and he's just
yeah.
so sure-handed over there. It's a Jimmy Rollins kind of thing where it's like anything goes anywhere near there, he's going to gobble it up, and he's probably going to make the
And
throw and get you
he's
out. I mean,
got a cannon too.
I love it.
Yeah,
Yeah, he does. I love it. So anyway, that's been really good to watch. We'll see about Harper, what happens. This has not been a good showing for him, obviously, but it's a long season. I'm not ready
it
to
is.
write it off
Yeah,
yet. So let's move on, though, to spring training. So obviously, we have this going on, but we have our own, normal spring training going on, and a lot of good things to talk about here, too. Um, Chief among them, Andrew Painter has looked very good in his three
yes,
starts. Very good. Now, the
for the
last
most part,
start, he
yeah,
gave up a couple runs, whereas in the other
yeah.
ones, I think he was a little bit
Well,
more shut down in that department. But his stuff, and we've talked about this, I'm not that concerned about the numbers per se. It's how does he look, and his stuff continues to just
yeah.
get better each time out.
He's locating the. It wasn't as sharp in his most previous start against the Orioles. He let up a homer, but everything else, his control, his efficiency has been really good, and it's
I mean, he
exciting,
had five
especially.
Ks though.
Yeah, I mean, he's gonna be something that is gonna be pretty dominant. Hopefully, as a fifth starter, he might be one of the
Yeah,
top fifth starters in the league, just
right.
right out of the gate here. So, looking forward to seeing what he's got once the actual
The
games
real
come along. I
games.
think his
Yeah.
first start's going to come against the Nats. So we'll see. I mean, if as long as he starts within the first 5 games, so we'll see how that goes.
Yeah. Yeah, no. So, but I mean, it's been great to see him pitching with confidence,
Yeah,
and the stuff is there. And we talked about it. Year two, the first full year or the second full year after the Tommy John is usually the year where guys get back to it, get back to their normal selves, and that's where we're at with him. So I expect them to have a good year, despite it being his rookie season. I think he'll have a good year, good enough
agreed.
certainly to fill out the
I mean,
bottom of that rotation.
if he gives me like a 3.5 ERA,
Yeah,
and 150 strikeouts and 160 innings,
yeah,
I'm feeling
anything
pretty
in that
good.
neighborhood Yeah, anything in that neighborhood I'd be fine with, especially again with who you've got at the top of that rotation. They're going to eat
Exactly.
innings, they're going to strike guys out. It's
So
not an issue, but
we don't have to stretch
um,
him out at 7, 8 innings. He can pitch five efficient, six efficient innings, and then you got Alvarado, Keller, and Duran. Like, come on.
yeah. And who knows who else is going to emerge as someone that you can rely on?
Yeah,
You never know. There's always that one guy
that
every year that's like, I didn't think he'd be that good, and then you got that. So
I got one.
you got
Kyle
Tanner Banks
Backhouse.
still out there.
Kyle Backhouse. Look out.
Okay.
Kid's funky, and
Yeah,
he's got some good
yeah,
stuff.
I mean, and remember, you do have Banks in there still. I mean,
Yes, you do.
he's been pretty reliable. So they've got the arms to kind of come in and relieve a 6 inning start certainly. Crawford continuing to look like he's been playing center field for 10 years in the league. He looks
Yeah, he looks good.
very comfortable out there. Um, Good range. He knows, he has great awareness of where his
He
teammates are,
does.
where the ball is, where the wall is. That's stuff that sounds obvious, but a lot of players struggle with it no matter how long they play out there. He is the most comfortable looking outfielder that we've had in a long time out
Yeah,
there,
so
I think.
he is going to be able to track a lot of balls down that guys like Brandon Marsh wouldn't be been able to track down. Maybe even
Right.
Harrison Bader wouldn't have been able to track down. Um, I think he's going to be a smarter ball player than Rojas in the outfield as well.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, because we talked about it. The issue with him wasn't his ability; it was his decision making,
Yeah,
and
he's gonna
he makes
dive. He's gonna
terrible
dive for
decisions.
balls that he shouldn't.
Exactly. He would dive. He just didn't make the right choices out there. So no, I'm thrilled with that. He's still hitting the ball. He's still putting the bat on the ball. Not trying to hit home runs, just trying to make contact. I think he is going to be great at the bottom of that lineup, and it wouldn't surprise me if he found his way moving up, throughout the season, depending on how the other guys in the lineup perform. Not saying that will definitely happen, but it wouldn't surprise me. I just think he's been brought up to be a professional baseball player because of his
Yeah,
pedigree, his father. He just knows what it's about, and I expect he'll have a good year. So it's good to see the two of them really living up to the expectations thus far, at least through spring training. Again, it's spring training, but we've seen situations where that hasn't gone so where
right.
it's like we're relying on this guy to fill a spot and he's not figuring it out even in spring
He,
training. These guys
he's
are. Hopefully it
he's
continues.
gonna get his at bats, and I think he'll level out. Still hoping for like 275, 280 from him come start of the season.
Yeah, I think that's reasonable. Um, so yeah, I mean that's going on. You and I were texting about this a couple days ago. Bohm has been demonstrating a little bit more power than I think we're used to
Yes.
seeing from him, which is something you and I have talked about. As a guy who bats cleanup a lot for this team, he needs to do that more. It's one thing to get singles and doubles and drive runs in as the cleanup
Right.
guy because your job is to drive runs in as the cleanup guy, but in this day and age, certainly that entails home runs. We need some home runs out of you. And if he's turning on the ball, you pointed this out when we talked, a lot of left field power, which a lot, historically he's gone kind of center field to right field as his power really. That's where he drives a lot of balls out of the
Mhm.
park. He doesn't pull a lot. But it seems like he's doing that right now. Again, it's spring training. We'll see how it goes once the
Yeah,
season starts. He's going to go into some funk and he's going to, throw his
he is.
tantrums and stuff like that. But he has every reason to show up this year because this
Yeah,
is
he
his
does.
free agent. This is the year where he needs to get a contract, and it's probably not going to be with this club with Aiden Miller waiting in the wings, despite his injuries, the back injury, and didn't something else crop up? Did I hear too? I don't know,
As
but
far as I know, it's just his back, but he
okay,
officially was sent down to minor league camp. So
right.
he'll get his time. He'll get his at bats. He'll adjust, but he'll get a full year in AAA unless something crazy happens. But he'll be there.
Yeah, and I mean he's I read today that he's feeling better than
Good.
like he's starting to loosen up and the back is starting to feel better, and that is good. And we don't need to rush him. I mean, unless there's a serious injury in the infield, you really don't need him up there this year. I'd rather him take
Right.
his time, get comfortable at AAA, have a solid year there, and then hit it hit the ground running next year. You're the starting
Yeah.
third
Well, I
baseman,
mean,
ideally, if we move on from Bohm.
Yeah, we have Edmundo is a suitable replacement in third base for the time being as well. So at least
That's true. Yeah,
we have
Edmundo feels.
placeholders should we need.
Yeah, right. And Kemp is there too. Although Edmundo is obviously much better with a glove than Kemp is there.
Absolutely.
Um, so yeah, I mean, but we'll see. It's just something to point out. If Bohm can translate that into the regular season, it might make good. It would definitely would make a big difference,
Yeah.
hitting behind Harper, Schwarber, guys like that potentially. So the other thing is Zach Wheeler threw his first live BP. I believe it was yesterday. Um, and he seems like he's feeling good. He's
Yeah.
he's really progressing well, and so far I haven't heard of any setbacks. So if that can continue, we could see him by mid-May. That's not out of
I
the realm of
mean,
possibility.
April, end of April. I mean,
Maybe,
that might be
maybe, but
high
I'm just saying
expectations,
conservatively. Yeah, yeah.
but and
But he's looking good.
if we're without Zach Wheeler for only a month, and let's say we have a 500 to winning record, or we're probably going to have a winning record, I'd imagine. But we're going to be in really good shape, and we're going to get a fresh Zach Wheeler.
Yeah,
That's
yeah, it'd be
exciting.
huge. It's a free agent pickup right there,
Yeah,
basically.
one big one.
Um, Yeah. So no, I love it. I hope that he continues to progress because, like we talked about, a healthy Zach Wheeler with the rest of those guys, you're talking potential performance and numbers like the guys, of that insane rotation where you had Halliday, Cliff Lee, Roy Oswalt, and Cole Hamels. Like that's the
Right.
kind of thing you're talking about if these guys stay healthy and they're at their best. So, yeah, we'll see what happens, but.
It's you got to think that
Um,
Aaron Nola is the Joe Blanton of that rotation.
Strangely, yes. Yeah, I think you're probably right. But the difference is Aaron Nola is not hitting any home runs for us.
How he is not. But I mean, he's a better pitcher than Joe Blanton. I'll give him that.
True. That that's true. Yes, that's true. Joe Blanton was like a Kyle Schwarber of pitching in,
Yeah,
in in the
kind
sense
of
of he
looks
just
like
kind
him.
of. I think that's what it is. It's the look. It's just kind of that
Hey,
big, Midwestern looking dude that just kind of
yes.
does everything powerfully, and that's it.
And for those of you listening, this is not a Joe Blanton bash. I appreciate Joe
No,
Blanton for what he did for this team back
that
in
was
the
a
late
great pickup that year. It was essential to
O's.
us winning in '08.
Yes,
It
yes,
absolutely was.
absolutely.
Um, so the other thing, and this isn't current really, I mean, it is current, but it's about a former player. Chase Utley it's been announced that he's going to be going on the Phillies Wall of Fame this season.
Yes,
Um, Thoughts on that?
you have to pick a certain order to do this. I think it's perfectly fine. Jimmy had to go first.
Hmm.
So now it's pick and choose between Chase,
Howard.
Ryan, and Cole. So I think it's great. He's going absolutely deserves to be there. He is the best second baseman in Phillies history. So he's Philadelphia baseball through and through, and I couldn't be happier for the guy. Man, I don't know what else to say there.
Yeah, no, I mean it. It's a foregone conclusion this was going to happen, right? I mean, he was
Yeah.
a key piece of that group. Guy always showed up when you needed him to. I still remember that play that he made in the World Series where he pump faked and then threw
Mhm.
home, got him on the bounce like that.
Yeah,
That is high IQ baseball right there
uh,
that you can't teach really. That's
uh,
just knowing the game and paying attention,
that
and
that
he just had
that
the instinct.
that play. All I can remember is J.C. Romero like calling him out too at the same time as the ump does.
Yeah,
And
right.
then
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
like memories for Chase is the '09 World Series. He had what 5 home runs. He was,
yeah. He was tearing it up. Yeah.
yeah, I wish the rest of the team was, but he
I
but
know.
he
Yeah,
he was
Utley's
on a he
corner
was
in Sit.
City Field, yeah, and Shea.
Yeah, yeah. He just no. He and Jimmy owned the Mets in a way that was
And
beautiful. It was just so good.
yeah,
But I'm happy for him. I love Chase Utley, my favorite second baseman, certainly in Phillies history, and that's not. I mean, I think that's a lot of people, but
mhm.
uh, he's just one of the great guys to play for this team, and like I think you kind of touched on, he embodied the city. It was just kind of that like, you
Yeah,
know I don't really care what you guys think. I'm just going to play and he played the game hard. I mean, opponents said that like because this is back when you could truck the catcher, and he did.
Right.
He ran through the catcher every time he had the chance, and he
Yeah,
took fielders out sliding. I mean, usually it was. I mean, he did it legally most of the time, or he'd stay in the base path. But he went hard. He played the game hard,
and
and he paid for it. I mean, he did get banged up. He had some injuries in his career, and it was a lot. A lot of it was
yeah.
due to the fact that he played the game very hard.
So yeah,
But no, I'm loving that. I'm glad. I'm definitely going to be watching that ceremony. I'm sure it'll be televised. I
so
will
yeah,
watch that. I watched the Jimmy one. It was awesome.
so yeah.
Um, so yeah,
I
just
look
it's
forward to
awesome. It's yeah, for sure. But honestly, this is a pretty quick one, Jim. We're not known for our brevity, right? I think
it.
our
Right.
followers and our listeners would never accuse us of understating or being
We
brief with
have
things.
things we want to do. I mean, there's the USA Dominican Republic game is happening as we speak. It's only the second inning, you know we went through a lot of subjects pretty quickly. I mean, not much else to touch on right yet. We have the regular season coming up in very short time, 10 days.
Right. Yeah. And on that point, we're once the regular season gets going, we'll be back to once a week. But at this point, we're gonna wait till it'll be, I guess, 2 weeks from now that we'll be putting out our next episode, and then we'll go back to, as we did last season, the weekly episodes. And of course, in between, we will be doing those kind of 1 minute summary reactions to each game. I think we're going to try our best to do that so that we're not leaving you guys hanging all through the week necessarily. But anyway, that's where we're at with all of this. Jim, do you want to close things out? Tell people where they can find us?
Listen to us on Apple and Spotify at Phillies Unfiltered Podcast. Watch our faces at YouTube on Phillies Unfiltered Podcast. Follow us on Facebook at Phillies Unfiltered Podcast. Follow on Instagram at Phillies Unfiltered and X/Twitter. That's Funfiltered, PHUNPHILTERED.
There we go. You got it all. Very good.
Thank you.
All right, guys. We're gonna go watch this World Baseball Classic game and hope the U.S. gets their focus back here and they start picking it up because they're not doing great right now, from what Jim tells me. So
Yeah, it's only one,
um,
nothing, so you never know.
I know. But all right. Well, with all of that said, Jim, you want to say it?
You know what? I will. Go Phils.
Go Phils. All right. Bye,
See ya.
everybody.